What's up, my fellow children of God? I know God loves us. This is a follow-up video from the paint can explosion from a few weeks ago. We have a similar setup where the paint can is filled with methane. Instead of allowing the air to passively refill the can, the air is supplied here on the wall and can be controlled there, after which it flows through the hose into a bubble buret, and you can track the flow rate, and then into the can.
Here's our flame with the can connected to the bubble buret. Here's our bubbles. You can see those, that's about the rate. Put a few bubbles in here. You can see when I increase the bubbles and also the flame will get pretty high depending on how I turn it up. It's kind of cool. And then see how fast our bubbles are moving. They're moving pretty fast, you can't even see them.
This is just a calculation sheet that shows that if the flow is too high out through the can, that the can will not explode. Here's our transient material balances, where this is the change of the number of moles of the flammable component is equal to the flow of that flammable component out of the can. And this is the number of moles of air in and out. We have a constant flow in, and then the flow out is proportional to the fraction of the air that's in the can. So we'll just set up our model real quick here. Import our needed packages. Here where we define the class for the can like we did in the previous video. Here's some parameters that are used. Here's our outflow that's constant, that's set to some value. Here's our time. It goes from 0 to 800 seconds in 600 steps. Here's our total moles defined. This is how we define how the fraction changes within the can, the number of moles of the flammable component, the number of moles of the air. And this fraction of the flammable is calculated here. And then our flow is just set by that value that's part of the class. And then we return our derivative, which is defined right here, is a fraction. The flow of the flammable component is the flow out times the fraction that is the flammable component, and then the number of moles of air inside the can is defined here. The flow in, it's all air, and then the fraction of air times the flow out, because the flow in equals the flow out, the total, as the pressure doesn't change. And then we'll define that outlet flow as a constant, where it calls it right here. We'll return the velocity as well as the volumetric flow based on this milliliter per second. And then here we'll solve with the ODE int package from SciPy as a function of time what that fraction looks like. And we'll also then plot it. And so I'll run that. I'll create an instance of my class and set the outlet flow and then plot. You can see that it's around 3.2-ish meters per second flow when we're at that higher flow rate that you saw in the video. And that here is our decay in time for the fraction of methane in the can. And you can see it decreases rapidly through the flammability zone in around 2 minutes. And we're far above the flame speed of methane, so it does not go into the can. So I ran this 3 times. You can see that I got no explosion at 25 and 75 milliliters per second, as well as the higher one that's shown in the video. And if I just change this to 10, you can see that my flame speed is about the same as the air velocity out of the can, and meaning I can get an explosion, which I did. That's just the tip of the iceberg.